Let's now welcome the Chairperson of the CRL Rights Commission, Thoko Mkhwanazi-Xaluva. Ma'am, very good afternoon to you and thank you so much for your time. So the committee then is expected to begin its work in a month's time, as we've heard in that clip. Just give us a sense of the kind of structure you envision should be taken here and the expected outcomes from this kind of committee. I mean, will it, for instance, have some form of investigative power?
This committee is there to say to the nation, this is the system we need to deal with the problems. So that going to be the architects of an infrastructure, a legal infrastructure that will say, in order for us to be able to monitor, to be able to normalize the Christian sector, this is what is needed in our faith. So they are going to be coming up with a peer review mechanism that will have legal powers. Because they don't have those legal powers, we've set them up to go around the country and talk to other religious leaders. In a year's time, come back to us with recommendations of what they think will solve all our problems.
And I mean, having listened also, to your words in that previous clip, the CRL will not be a part of the committee, but you're going to be playing more of a secretarial role. I mean, does the CRL believe that self-regulation by religious bodies has failed, given that the committee now needs to come up with these mechanisms to curb transgressions in churches?
Let's put it like this. The mainline churches, for instance, have a system that is internal, that trains, that deploys, that monitors, that then disciplines their people. If I start up my own church, I don't belong anywhere. I'm free to do anything I want to do. I don't report to anyone. I'm not monitored by anyone. Those are the areas we're very much worried about, because the other churches are already doing what needs to be a universal approach. But if I belong to no umbrella organization, it's a free country, I belong where I want to belong to, freedom of association. So I'm on my own, I'm doing my own thing, you can't control me. That's where the problem lies. So basically, I wouldn't say we have failed as a nation. I would say we didn't pay enough attention as churches were being independently established.
What do you then say to those who may question why it's taken so long to establish a formal committee to deal with abuses in churches or so-called religious establishments, when such cases have been rampant for decades? I mean, the country watched in disbelief not too long ago when Timothy Omotoso and two others walked free after an 8-year court case. Many survivors felt robbed of justice.
We, as the CRL Rights Commission, did our investigation way back in 2015 to 2017. In spite of all the resistance that was there, serious death threats, all sorts of things were happening. And then there was resistance from those who say they're protecting freedom of religion, saying they don't want to be controlled by state. The CRL Commission is the state. Hence, we're saying we're deliberately removing the CRL Rights Commission from the committee, so that kind of excuse as stay away from being controlled by the state. We're saying we will be the secretariat deliberately so and allow the religion to come up with the framework themselves, umbrella organizations, credible people from the Christian faith, who will then say to the nation, here is the plan we've developed in 1 year. This is what Parliament must do, this is what that department must do, etc., etc. This is what the CRL must also do, if that's what they want to say. And then that will be implemented, I believe. And at that point, everything will be back to normal in this country.
The voices of survivors, I mean, to what extent do you think they should be included here? I mean, will survivors be included in the kind of committee that you're speaking of, particularly as you speak about recommendations?
We are talking to survivors. For instance, I'm sure I can say to you on Thursday this week, we are going to be having survivors from the complainants from the Omotoso case, who will be at the CRL Commission. We will have a press conference for them. So we are consulting people who know what it is like to be in a situation where there's no place to go to. If a lawyer does something wrong to you, you know the LPC is there. If even a plumber does something wrong, you know where to go to. But this is the only sector in the whole country where professionals can do what they want and their peers cannot control them. And as the CRL Rights Commission, we're saying we expect their peers to rise to the occasion and for all of these things to stop.
And very quickly, as we wrap up, I mean, just having listened to what you're saying and in terms of just the urgency, I mean, do you think abuses within churches then should be treated as a national crisis?
We are in a national crisis. Christianity is in a national crisis. That's why we decided to launch this particular committee during the Holy Week of Christians so that they realize that this is a very serious thing and Christianity is being seriously challenged.
Ma'am, thank you so much for your time. Chairperson of the CRL Rights Commission, Thoko Mkhwanazi-Xaluva, of course, will continue to monitor this particular matter and also follow up on that Thursday meeting this week, rather.